couldn't see the end, but like I said, God brought us this business and we had the faith that he was going to get us through it. And honestly, we want our time. We want our freedom. You have a gift and it's going to be used in a way that we are going to get that freedom back and we are going to get that family time of being able to travel with our kids.
Welcome, guys. Just briefly introduce yourself, explain business, where you're located.
So we are Backup Power. We solely focus on installation and service of standby generators, so residential, commercial, Generac, Kohler, Briggs & Stratton, those type of generators. We've been in business since 2021, and it was just a side gig for me for a while. I was electrical superintendent at a power plant. It was a coal-fired power plant in Pennsylvania. Everyone's starting to hate coal, just like every other state. So we started to see, the writing on the wall. The plant was going to be there forever. I was constantly worried about where our next paycheck is going to come from, if the plant's going to close, that type of thing.
Yep. We have 3 children, so I was the stay-at-home mom, and I was just in full support, thinking I would just be his cheerleader, as to say. So we were in full support of that, or I was in full support of that, and then fast forward to 2023, Jared quit his career and went full-time with it, and so yeah, it's been a roller coaster of a ride ever since. But
yeah, so. All right, well let's go back in time a little bit. So what was life like before you joined $1 Million Tradie?
I would say it was around December last year. We were considering closing up shop. It was too stressful. I was ready to just go back to a power plant position, where a place where I could have an office, shut the door, and have time alone, because it was just 12, 14, 16-hour days. I'd be out in the field doing the generator installation, servicing. We did have 2 full-time employees at that time in December last year. It was just overwhelming, the amount of work with admin, just how extremely busy we were with making very little profit. And we were at a tipping point, right? We had to make a choice on what to do.
And like I said, I was the cheerleader, so I didn't know how to help. I saw my husband struggling. I knew God led us here. I know he's going to see us through it, but how? We didn't know what kind of advice. We don't have friends that are entrepreneurs, so it was just we had nowhere to turn to but each other. So it was kind of I want to help you, but I don't know how. And you're I don't know how for you to help
I knew
me.
the electrical part of the business, but I didn't know the business part of the business.
Right.
I think Phil mentioned it earlier, where Facebook listens to you and what you're searching and stuff. And PT came across in a Facebook ad, and it was Tony Frazier, and he was explaining different things. Are you stuck here? Are you doing this wrong? Or is this part of your business struggling?
That's me.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. He's speaking to me, And I clicked on the ad, and we didn't order the book or anything, but I think we called right away.
We did.
Or
put an email inquiry in.
Right away. Sure. And the core values seemed to line up with what we needed and what we were looking for and how to move our business forward. So we met with Ricky Summerfield, I think he was, and he explained a lot of what PT did. And we talked about what our struggles were, at that time, where we had a lot of work to do. I was swamped, but just very little profit. And he pointed us in the right direction. We signed on, and then after
more work came.
And then more work came.
Well, with PT, right?
Yeah,
so then we were learning about PT, and we're oh my gosh, there's so much work now other than just the work.
So even honestly, in that first month of the program,
we were stressed.
Still I think we paid for the first month on a credit card.
Yeah,
maybe the first
we
2
were
months, because we had no other choice, right? We needed guidance somewhere, and we explained that we wanted to have more freedom. We wanted to eventually go on mission trips, and we wanted to do hurricane relief, different things. And his values lined up with ours as well, and it was just kind of confirmation that we were in the right place. But that's where we were.
Yeah. So 14, 16-hour days, no profit. Okay, so feeling the stress. How was everything between you two? Sounds like the cheerleader was there the whole time as much as he could. But how was that in the...
Yeah, she was getting sick of it. She was
I don't know if it's worth it anymore.
Yeah.
I couldn't see the end, but like I said, God brought us this business, and we had the faith that he was going to get us through it. And honestly, we talked about it, and we were no, we want our time. We want our freedom. You have a gift. It's going to be used in a way that we are going to get that freedom back, and we are going to get that time, and we are going to get that family time of being able to travel with our kids. We homeschool our children, so they see everything, and they are involved 100% as well. So But talking about the
was
business
stressful.
24/7, right? Like at night, 9 p.m. Hey, did you message that customer back? Oh my gosh, I forgot that email. Oh my gosh, and like what he was saying earlier was like, you don't want to miss that customer, right? Because you don't want to upset anyone, or we're gonna lose that job, and you really need it. We really needed it.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure everybody else in this room has been there. Have you guys been there where your brain just does not turn off work? Yeah, we've all been there, right? Let's go through to now. So I'd love to know, like, what have been the biggest changes that you've made, around anything financially, just tactically? What have you done to improve the business situation and life situation?
So I would say number one, just taking Jeff's guidance. I mean, he's been a rock for us, and we just really appreciate him. And really just having someone to lean on means more than anything, And our biggest change that he had us make was, having processes in place,
Right.
and constantly running hiring ads, constantly looking for what's next if something were to happen, And with checklists as far as installations go, we don't have callback work anymore with all the checklists. We're starting to get our financials in check and understanding those. In fact, like a couple days ago, we just, on the plane to Vegas, we were going through everything and got our P&L all set up and got everything there lined up. But the biggest thing has been systems and marketing too. I mean, we've completely 100% invested in marketing, and we have a marketing team that we contract through now that rebranded our website. We're getting our vehicles wrapped. It's been a complete 180 as far as my mindset has been for like investing back in the business.
And
Yeah.
PT with me, then instead of just being a cheerleader, it provided me access on things to do while he's busy. Yeah, I can create checklists. I can create the policy and procedure manuals. I learned that I could take different things off of his plate, and I was fully capable of doing it through PT.
Having
and that
those
was
resources
wonderful.
available.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
resources. And I'm like, wow, I never imagined. I have a nursing background. I've been a stay-at-home mom now for 11 years to take on and learn kind of how to run a business. And it's just like, wow, like I feel so good now that I'm just not sitting there supporting him and giving him encouragement and lifting him up, but I'm literally helping with the business.
Cool, that's a great shift. How does that make you feel that you can contribute support like that
Really
now?
good. I feel really proud of myself trying to manage. I mean, we're very humble people, but trying to manage homeschooling 3 children,
Yeah.
managing like an admin girl getting back to me, and having him and creating our team culture. I never imagined in a million years that I would be sitting here doing that with him. I was just like, he's the business owner. I'm here for your support. I love you. I know you're going to do a great job. But now that I literally get to see and have an active part in the business, it really is awesome. And I'm so thankful for Jeff and PT. And I'm glad that I came on board, not just as, woohoo, yeah, good job, babe.
Cool, that's really special. Love that. Let's talk about the results. So from the changes you've made, how have things shifted? So like financially, stress, time, relationship, all of that.
So I'm still struggling with time because we just lost our best technician recently, so I had to go back on the tools to train a new guy. I'm still struggling with time at the moment, but we're getting there. We just hired another electrician. He starts next Wednesday, so that'll be great. But the biggest change that we've seen is we've just made a ton more profit since we started. I mean, last year at this time, we were at around $480,000 in sales, and this year we're at 1.3 million in sales.
Fuck, great shift.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Love it.
And
Yeah.
it's mostly because you guys lined us up and gave us the confidence to go after commercial work, and I was so scared to do commercial work. Because I knew I could do it, but just taking that responsibility, taking on that additional responsibility, right? Because if something goes wrong on a commercial job, it's way more to repair or way more to fix. And what I've learned is if you just do it right, you're not going to have to worry about repairing it or fixing it. So we went after the bigger jobs and we got them, and it's been working out really
and
well.
Team culture. We have such a great team now, and building that that foundation for them, and like, the guy before us, feeding them. And, it's really scary to take on other people's we're providing for their family, but when you really lift them up and feed them and nurture them, they want to do so well. And our motto is always in our job interviews and when we go to hire people, as we grow, you will grow. And they love that. And they're like, okay. And it's like, that's why we don't have a set policy for raises, because you know what? When you're doing a great job, you're going to be openly rewarded. People want rewarded for their hard work, and they love it, and they will do so well for you. And just that business culture of building that strong team really has set our business too.
That's so good, guys. If you guys have questions, you can jump up to the mic in a sec. I'd love to know, what have been the mindset shifts that you've had to make to make that shift? The epic change in the last year.
For me, it's been, I'm not just the technician anymore, right? I have to take responsibility of the entire business. I have to make sure that it's going in the right direction. I'm the captain of the ship, right? Before, I was more comfortable just going out and troubleshooting generators whenever there'd be a problem, or doing the install, lining up the entire process for my guys to just do. Right? My biggest mindset shift has been just making sure the business is running properly and fluidly.
Any for you?
No, I don't think so. I think Jared has always been wonderful at shutting it off. So I'm very proud of him for always being able to put me and the kids first, and his time, and being able to juggle the business with PT now, and still getting in those weekend camping trips that we need, and just those weekend refreshers, and being able to be here together. But the biggest shift for me, for him, is I have to you are good enough. You got it. You're good enough. I have to still be his cheerleader and be like, go after that job. Did you see the concrete guys at our house, and the job they did? You're better than that. Go get it.
You got a good lady in your corner.
I'm telling you, right? I mean,
Awesome.
She's been the best.
Yeah, that's
16 years of marriage. 16 years.
3 kids later.
3 kids later.
Love it. We'll go to the audience if anyone has any questions. Start with Alfredo.
All right, guys. So you guys talked about, when you guys first started at a point where you guys were ready to close a business. I think there's so many of us in that room that start with profitable trading. We're in that situation. Tell me about your guys' processes and the checklist and how you implemented them with your team.
So we started off with checklists for ourselves, actually, and just making sure that we had everything that we do daily on paper. Right, I forget which webinar it was that we went through that kind of taught us a little bit about that, but we also read a book called Buy Back Your Time. I think it was Dan Martell wrote that book. Phenomenal. I recommend it to everyone. Mm-hmm. But the process of just us keeping track of what we did daily was really beneficial. Then we could just hand that off to someone.
Right. Everything that someone else could take over, there it's down. Okay, we can teach someone to do that. That's taken off our list now.
Started creating Loom videos for every time that I would put a work order request in through the power company, right? So then I could hand that off to someone, and then they can do it. They watch the video, they do the work order request, and then it becomes second nature to them. Honestly, once I started doing that, once we had those checklists in place, they were doing a better job at it than I was, because I'd always put that type of stuff off. Then we go to the job and we go to pull the electric meter to do the work, and we're like, oh boy, did we even have a work order for this? Oh, okay, I gotta get on the phone real quick and call, right? Well, now that's all done because someone has that list to follow. Yeah. So in our field service management app, we use a company called Field Pulse for our field service management. It has just been a game changer for us. And we started that back in October of last year. So it was right before we started PT. And you can load checklists, and it's been a lifesaver.
And I'm right on track with you guys. So if you use Field Pulse, I think the webinar that you guys are watching is the leading with accountability, right?
That sounds good, yeah.
Yeah, that's the checklist.
Yes,
awesome, guys.
Yeah, and that will lead into your policy and procedure manual as well.
Love it. Some love for Alfredo. 3, 2, 1.
I want to call up Kim, most smiley, most dedicated. So Kim, go ahead, unmute and throw your question in.
Hi, thank you. Hey, you talked about your marketing and with those commercial jobs, and I'm just wondering what vehicles you used, what marketing tools you used to go after those jobs.
So we signed with a company called Marketing 360, and they rebranded our website, right? They used our existing logos and everything, but they rebranded our website. They fixed our keywords that were missing, that weren't I guess linking properly. I'm not sure what all the SEO.
SEOs.
I don't know a lot about all that, but they fixed a lot of things that we had wrong on our existing website, because guess who was doing our existing website? Me. Guess, who was doing the emailing? Me, at that time. So once we handed that over to them, they kind of ran with it, and they set our budget, what we could afford monthly, and they did the targeting. They asked us what we wanted to focus on. PT gave us the direction on what to focus on, right? But then the marketing team implemented. And it was kind of scary for me, because I didn't want to spend any more a month. We were barely making anything per month, And thank God we did, because it's been great. But yeah, they were the marketing people were the ones that
do the
decided
target
where to
words.
focus.
How did you come
Where to
to
target.
making that decision? Because there might be people here that are in the same boat, where I need more work, and I need to spend more money to get more work, but I don't know if it's going to get me more work, so I don't want to spend the money. How did you move through that and decide to do it?
Every time we were on a Q&A or a webinar, everyone said, just do it, basically. And so that gave us the confidence to just try it, right? And it worked out. We didn't do any other investigations or looking at anything else. It was just as simple as making the choice to do it.
Great. So just leaned on the support
Yeah.
in the community. Okay, nice. Some love for the question. 3, 2, 1. Brian, one more question.
All right, guys. So mine is less business related and more fundamental in approach, specifically between you two, because when difficulties happen, especially in business, it often gets brought home. What did you guys do in 16 years, and then more recently in the last 3, that you guys were able to separate the two so that you could still have a successful marriage?
Well, that's a loaded.
I mean, for real though.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
this
Yeah, no.
shit's difficult,
It's-
and then you
It
couple
is.
in being a relationship more difficult. Came from a failed marriage. I've been in business for 15 years, so I just want to learn from those that kept it together what it is I need to do differently.
That's a great question, man.
Well, we've always enjoyed the same things, right? We've always had the same goals. We were equally yoked from the beginning. So I think something that's meant to be from the beginning is hard to be broken. And I feel like that's always how it's been for us. Whenever I have a thought, she's already thinking the same thing. I know it. And she wasn't originally intended to be part of the business, right? She's homeschooling my children, right? She's running the household. So on my side of things, like I really can't believe she stuck around, because it's been wild, right?
It's been wild, but I love it. Yeah, we enjoy each other's company. He's my best friend, and honestly, a couple that prays together stays together. We pray with each other. We pray over our children, and we also pray over our employees. So we're very Christ-driven, and He is our strength. And honestly, at the end of the day, if we have to close up shop and move to Florida, I'm okay with it. Worst case scenario, but no, honestly, if we have to pack up and we have to close the doors, and God forbid Jared has to, which it's not going to happen, because God's got us. He's brought us this far. He's going to keep propelling us further. And for our children to get to witness all of this is way more than what they would ever experience in a classroom. So, yeah, we keep it together, and Jared has always kept me first and the kids first through all of his careers. So I knew it wasn't going to be any different with him running his own business.
I will give you one piece of advice, and maybe this isn't advice, maybe it is, but she never wants to talk about problems. She doesn't. I'll have to poke and pry her to figure out what's going on. Like she'll be abrasive, not wanting to talk about something. And I'll have to like sit her down and say, listen, what is the problem? Like you need to talk about it so we can figure it out.
Yeah.
And then we do, and it works out. We work through it. But I think a lot of men don't want to hear their wife's problems or what they see that they think might be an issue in the business or at home. And I've always been the one to just try to fix it.
Yeah.
And I think that has gone a long way too.
He's definitely a better communicator than I am.
Good call out, man.
So what I'm hearing is basically what you said about Jeff is support, and it sounds like you two just support each other.
Absolutely.
For each other
And
too.
it's great too because maybe when I'm having my lows, he's on his highs. So when he's on his lows, I'm on my highs. We're never low or like in a rough place together. It always just kind of equals out. So we're always there encouraging one another at the most impeccable times.
Awesome. So good. Some love for Brian.
Congratulations.
3,
Thanks.
2, 1. And massive round of applause for Jared and Christina. Right? How good was that?